Hi, I'm Vanessa from speakenglishwithvanessa.com, and today we're going to talk about something that you take for granted. Let's get started. Is there something in your life that you don't appreciate? Something that you expect to always be there and not change? Maybe you expect to always be safe. Maybe you expect to be able to go to the grocery store and buy any kind of food at a reasonable price. Maybe you expect your husband or wife to be patient and kind. These are perfect examples of today's expression, to take something for granted. I think this expression is a little bit difficult to use correctly and grammatically, so I'm going to give you some examples during this video, but I'm also going to give some more examples in my full lesson below this video. So if you are not on my website, if you are watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, click the link so you can go to my website and see all of the other sample sentences so that you can use this naturally and casually. I already mentioned three things that you expect to not change: safety, food, and your partner, your husband or wife. So let's use those same sentences that I used before and change them to include today's expression. You could say, I take my safety for granted. I take fresh food at the store for granted. I take my husband for granted. Now, if you take something for granted, it means that you don't really appreciate it. So, I want to give you two stories to help you remember take something for granted. The first is from when I lived in Korea. When I lived in Korea, it was perfectly fine to drink alcohol in public. My husband and I would often go to the park and have a picnic. We would bring some pizza, maybe some cheese or bread or some snacks, and maybe we would bring some wine or some Korean alcohol like makgeolli or soju, and we would drink it in the park together or with our friends. And it was nice to be able to do this in public in a natural setting. But in the US, at least where I live, you're not allowed to do this. So when I go to the park now, I'm not allowed to drink alcohol. It's against the law. So when I was in Korea, I took it for granted. I took it for granted that I could drink alcohol in the park. It was something I didn't appreciate. It was something that was normal. But now that I don't have that experience, I'm not allowed to drink alcohol in public. I realize, that was really nice to be able to drink outside in public. I don't take it for granted anymore. The second story is a little bit different. 6 years ago, when I lived in Pennsylvania, which is in the north of the US, my husband and I lived in a very old house. And this house didn't have any heat that worked very well. There was really no heat in the house. And Pennsylvania is similar to New York, so it's very far north and very cold in the winter. So inside my house in the winter, it was the same temperature as outside. This is not a joke. This is real. It was so cold inside. There was ice on the inside of my windows. And when I went to bed, I wore a hat because it was so cold. Now, when I was growing up, I never experienced this because I lived in the South. The winters were not that cold. But in this experience, when I lived in Pennsylvania, I did not take heat for granted. I appreciated heat. When I went to someone's house and they had heat, I really appreciated it. Maybe their house was beautiful, the food was amazing, but the number one thing I noticed was it's warm inside. It feels so good. I really appreciated it. So I could say I didn't take the heat for granted. I really appreciated it. So now I have a question for you. What is something that you take for granted in your life? Do you take air conditioning for granted? Do you not appreciate air conditioning because it's so normal in your life? Do you take your mother for granted because she is always helping without questioning? She's always there for you. What do you take for granted? And I'll see you in the comments below and try to help you use this expression as naturally as possible. Thanks so much and talk to you later. Bye.